Kenna. We're going to do a little experiment. So before I start, tell me, what do you see? What am I holding?
A straw with holes.
Okay.
And a straw.
And what have I done to the straws that makes them different from a regular straw?
I think that straw could play a tune on it or something.
All right. Did I do anything to make them look different from a regular straw? What did I do?
You cut the top.
Okay.
And you cut holes in this one, but you didn't cut holes in this one from what I can see.
Okay.
And you just cut that part, and this one you cut that and holes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to take the one that has the holes in it, and I'm going to use my fingers, and I'm going to cover all the holes. Okay? That's really important. And I'm going to try to make a sound out. Sometimes it's a little hard, so we'll see. All right. Did it make a sound? Okay. Now I want you to notice what happens when I move my fingers, okay? Uh-oh. All right. Got it?
Sounds like Indian.
It does sound a little bit like Indian music. Okay. What do you expect when I play this one that doesn't have any holes?
A weird, just blowing sound.
Do you think it'll sound the same as this one?
No.
All right, well, let's see. Let's see if that makes a noise too. Do you think it'll make a noise at all?
I think we'll make a noise.
Okay. Well, maybe if I knew how to play it right. Whoa. Now, what do you notice about the noise on that?
It sounded like if you were covering the holes, all the holes on that.
Okay, good. Now, watch what happens when I cut it. I'll grab our sound first. What's happening as I cut it?
It's getting higher.
It's getting higher, yeah. All right, so this one, what made it higher?
You were moving.
I was moving my fingers. And what was happening every time I picked a finger up?
It was getting higher.
Yeah, it was getting higher. All right, so my first question is about this experiment. They both made sound, right? So what was actually producing the sound? Like, how did I get a sound out of it?
You blew.
I blew.
And you moved your fingers and cut it.
Okay. So when I blew, what created the noise? What about air and the shape of this instrument and what's happening at the top? What does it have to produce to make a sound?
Air traveling really fast to the tube and resulting in making a sound.
Okay. And what does something have to have for the air to make a sound? It has to do something. It has to move. And what do we call that moving? Starts with a B. Volume's the sound that makes how loud or soft it is. But if we had something that made sound, it would create a vibration. Good. Now, when all my holes were closed, so the air, you were right, the air actually does produce the sound, but the air creates the top of this tube, and we call that? You got it. All right, now when I had all my fingers down, as opposed to when they were all up. Oh, sorry, I had one hole open. When they were all down, what was the sound like? And then when they were all up? Good. And what did you notice about when I started cutting this straw? It got higher too. Good. So what does opening or closing a hole in the straw really mean when we're talking about that vibrating air? When I open a hole, the vibrating air, do I have as much room for the air to vibrate?
Yes.
I do have as much room. What happens when the hole's open? What happens to my air?
It goes
it escapes, right? It goes out. So that means the area that I have for it to vibrate is longer or shorter? Shorter. So that it was it doing the same thing as when I was cutting this straw? Yeah, because the air was escaping. So in science, when we're looking at air that's vibrating, if we let air escape, we're actually creating a shorter amount of time for that air to vibrate. We call it a vibration column or air column. Now, you learned a lot about musical instruments this year because you have been playing what instrument? Well, the piano. And what instrument that you started to learn in 4th grade? The recorder. Does it do the same type thing? Absolutely. Well, since you know how to play a recorder, I'm going to let you try to blow in one of these. Even though I don't usually do this, but I know you're a skilled musician. So you can blow in the one without any holes first and see what it does. See if you can make a sound. Can you make a sound? Well, we'll work with that a little more. I'll let you play after our experiment's done. But you notice this one has what in it?
Holes.
Holes. All right, so what? That's good. That's good. We'll work on it a little bit. What other musical instruments do you know that have this same way of producing sound where fingers cover the holes and stuff like that? What other kind of band instruments? Clarinet. What else? An oboe. Well, I'm so glad you said that because I actually play the oboe. So I brought a real oboe with me to show you, instead of on a straw, how this works on a real oboe, just as a little bonus for our little experiment. So do you see keys? The silver part?
Yeah.
And what's underneath the keys? Can you tell? What do you think's under there?
Air.
Well, there probably is air under there, but in the instrument we actually have holes in it. So it's going to do the same thing. My reed that I have here, notice that it has 2 little sides, just like our straw. And so is it going to produce a vibration the same way as this? Yeah. It'll probably sound a lot better. Now if I play the reed all by itself, do you expect the sound to be high or low? High, because what?
Because it has less time for it to vibrate.
Yeah, we have a shorter distance, right? So if I play just this, it's nice and high. But when I put it on the instrument, what have I created for my air column in order for the vibrations to happen? I've made it what?
Longer.
I've made it longer. So if I put all my fingers down, that's the longest it's going to be. Let's see if I can make a sound there. Well, I'll start high and then go low. Do you get lower as I added fingers? And then watch as I take them away. Does it get higher? Yeah, so that's how sound works with vibrations. As we create more of an area for our air to vibrate, we have lower sounds. So you said clarinet, oboe. Can you name any more instruments? Obviously recorder. That we actually use our air with. There's, do what? Well, straw isn't actually an instrument. But I was going to say flute and saxophone. That's 2 more. But we're going to play a little more with those straws and hopefully help you make a sound. But thanks for helping me today. I'm going to get a high five. You're awesome. Thanks, Miss Kenna.